Hi, here we are at the Truman Day event 2018 at the Foundry in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I have Justin Davis with me. You're running in District 14?
That's correct.
And so, can you tell us how the Democrats are going to win in 2018?
I think there's a lot of work to do, but I think the method to get there is easy. I think that we have to engage the voters, go out, listen to them, listen to their concerns, listen to their thoughts about the future of our state. We have to educate the voters on who we are as candidates, educate them as to our ideas in the Democratic Party, our platform. We have to energize them, get them fired up, get them ready to go, and we have to get them engaged, in the party's activities, whether it be grassroots campaigns, whether they find a candidate that they want to back, or just an issue that they're passionate about. So I think that if we can do those things, get our message across, we got a really good chance of winning and eventually turning the state blue.
Yeah, it's amazing what we're facing this year. So what do you think a Democratic win would mean for our country?
I think progress. I think that we could finally start to insure our citizens. We could expand Medicaid. We could fully fund our public schools, which is long overdue. And we could start providing good quality jobs for our people here in the state and across the country.
Well, thanks, Justin. We appreciate you talking to us tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night. Hi, I'm here with Cody Biggs. He is running for County Commission in District 3. How you doing, Cody?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you.
So why don't you tell me how you think the Democrats are going to win this year?
That answer is very simple. It's just vote. Vote for Democrats, vote for a new voice, vote for progressive ideas that will make a difference for all of our communities, whether it's District 3 or different districts. We need to stop doing the same thing. We need to make the difference in saying what we're going to do. So vote. That's the only way you're going to do it.
What do you think a Democratic win would mean for the country? How do you think the country would change if we began to turn the tide on the Democrats?
We've already started turning the tide. We've already started a movement out there, whether it's in D.C. or Seattle. You've got a voice that is being expressed by young children, high schoolers, young adults, the elderly. It's starting to happen, and I think the past couple of years has been building up to it, and if we continue that by voting Democrat, I think that's going to continue and help that.
So what issues are you going to be focused on should you win?
My main one's my community, who I'm going to be representing. That means some of the concerns that I've been hearing, whether it's infrastructure and safety and security of public services, public venues, education, affordable housing. So there's a lot of things that are happening in District 3, which is the West Knoxville, Cedar Bluff area. And it actually goes northeast into a completely different area, but it's all of us have different concerns, and it's making sure that we're representing every single different opinion and need in that district.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, and good luck.
I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Take care. Thank you, Cody. Yeah. I'm with Renee Hoyas. She's running for U.S. Congress, 2nd District. Hi, Renee. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So here we are at the Truman Day event tonight here at the Foundry, and I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about how the election's going.
Well, I'll answer anything.
All right. Well, what do you think that a Democratic win would mean for our country?
Well, I think we'll bring the country back to its democratic values if we have a Democratic win this year. I think that over the last 30 years, we've seen a real erosion of our democratic principles, and the only way to get that back is to elect Democrats.
How do you think the Democrats can win in 2018?
I think there is a lot of renewed interest in becoming a Democrat and in Democrat principles, and so I think we're going to have more people come out at the polls, but candidates have got to do a ground game. They have got to get out and meet people. They can't be sitting at home. They've got to go out and meet people and canvass and get on the phone. It's going to take a lot of hard, just grinding work, but I think we can do it.
And I just want to ask you, what kind of issues are you going to be working on should you be elected?
Well, the first thing I'd want to work on is certainly health care. That was the one issue everyone told me was top on their list. Making it affordable and accessible, stopping these hospital closures. I mean, we are bleeding hospitals in the rural areas in a terrible rate, and that means job loss, health care loss. So we've got to really get our health care under control. So that would be probably the biggest thing I'd work on.
All right. Well, thanks so much for talking to me. Have a great evening.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm with Jamie Ballinger, and she is running for Tennessee State Senate in District 7. All right. Thank you so much for talking to me tonight. So here we are at the Truman Day dinner.
Yes.
And so tell me what your expectations are for the 2018 elections.
I think the 2018 election is exciting because as Democrats, we're going to get back to talking about issues that matter to voters. In particular for me, I'm talking to my district about the issues that are affecting us the most, which is underfunded public education, the lack of good paying jobs with benefits. We have some problems with equal pay for equal work. And also we've got to expand Medicaid in Tennessee. So what's going to be great about Democrats this year is we're getting back to our roots and we're talking to people about things that make their life better.
Yeah, it's amazing that there are so many things really out there that are issues right now. So how do you see the Democrats being able to pull it off and to begin to turn the tide?
Well, I would say that how we're going to do it is how we always do it, by talking about the things that matter and working harder than our opponent. I think we talk a lot about tides, but we need to remember that the Democratic Party has been a force for good for many, many, many years, and we're going through peaks and valleys as we've done in our history forever. So we're going to continue doing what we're doing. The 2016 election gave us a chance to, wait a minute, we got a little off of our core values. Let's get back on our core values. And I think that's great for the people in my district. It's great for the people of Tennessee to get back to the things that actually make their lives better.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me, Jamie. I appreciate that.
It was a great. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm with Alex Dunn. He's running for, tell me what you're running for, Alex.
State House, District 14.
Okay, thanks. That makes it easier for me. We're here at the Truman Day event. And so tell me what your expectations are for the 2018 election.
Well, I think a lot of us are expecting a blue wave. You know, we're riding the momentum going into 2018 and beyond. And this is just the beginning. You know, it's not a movement or a moment, it's a movement.
I like that. That's a great way to put it. So what issues would you be working on should you be elected?
You know, I think there's a lot of issues affecting Tennesseans and District 14 where I'm running. Healthcare, obviously, is a big one. You know, we have to make it affordable, and right now it's not. Public education, I want to make sure and protect that and make sure our teachers are compensated. They work very hard and they're underpaid. And finally, you know, obviously the economy and jobs. You know, we got to make sure that people have a livable wage, a true livable wage, and you know, they can live on one, you know, what they make off of one job.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Do you have any clues as to how the Democrats can pull it off this year and turn the tables on the Republicans?
Absolutely. You know, it's going to come straight down to voter turnout. You know, it's our civic duty, you know, to vote. And unfortunately, until recently, Tennessee's been the bottom part of voter turnout. So we see that turning around on a daily basis. And that's how Democrats are going to take this.
All right. Thanks so much for talking to me. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Eddie Nelson, and he's running for House District 19. How you doing?
Doing real well. How are you?
Doing great. We're here for the Truman Day dinner tonight. So what is your expectation for the Democratic Party in the 2018 elections?
Oh, we're going to take back the House. I think on the state level and on the federal level. You know, we are riding a big wave right now, and the foundation for that wave is our platform. I think that I feel really good about it. We have people running, or we haven't had people running in a very long time. Myself, I'm the first Democrat to run in 16 years in my district. So we have people getting motivated to get out there and win a race.
Well, that sounds really promising. So what issues will you be running on?
My number one issue is health care in Tennessee. You know, we live in a state where we haven't expanded Medicaid yet. I'm a veteran, and that has left 25,000 veterans uninsured. You know, I could sit at home and not worry about it because I have insurance, but I can't do that. I know my brothers and sisters out there wouldn't do that if I was without insurance, so I'm out there fighting for them for insurance. Expanding Medicaid is my day one issue, so we can really make sure that we have a healthier Tennessee in the long run.
Well, thank you for your service, by the way. And what do you think the key is for the Democrats to win this year in 2018?
Yeah, so we need to stand for something and not against something. I think that's where we failed in the past. Democrats take a reactionary stance, or reactive stance rather, not a proactive stance. It's easy to say you're resisting, it's easy to say you're against Donald Trump, but what are you for? It's easy to say you're against vouchers, so what are you for? That's what we need to do as a party. That's what I'm doing, that's what I'm basing my platform around, is being for things, not so much against them. I think if we do that as a whole, we're going to win this year.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you talking to me. Have a great evening.
You too. Thank you so much.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm with Sherry Ridgeway, and Sherry, you're running for Circuit Court Clerk, correct?
I am, yes.
So how do you see the Democrats winning this year in 2018?
It's just going to take a lot of work. We're going to have to get out and meet the people and be with the people and let them know that we're here, because there's more of us here than everyone thinks there is. Just getting out, talking to people, letting them know that we're here and we're coming out.
What issues do you find yourself caring most about these days?
Healthcare. There's a lot about healthcare. My position's administrative, so it's a little different than someone who's running for a state position or even a mayoral position. But I hear a lot about healthcare. I hear a lot locally about our schools. Just those are the main issues that I'm hearing a lot from these days.
Is there any changes that you would make in that particular once you take office?
I know that the technology needs to be upgraded. There's not enough technology in the office. There's been talk about issues with the budget. The big thing is I want to bring balance to the office. I want to make sure that I'm available for the people to talk to if they have a problem, and that if there's anything they need, that I'm going to be there so that they can access me.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, and I hope you have a great time tonight.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to you.
You too. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Matauri Griffin, and he's going to be running for the at-large position, Seat 10 in County Commission.
Yes, ma'am.
So here we are at Truman Day Dinner 2018. So I just had a couple of questions for you about your election. How's it going?
It's going great. So we finished the first hurdle, which was Tuesday. So I got 7,412 votes, which was great. So the last time we had a county election, we didn't have Democrat candidates. So I'm happy to be a part of the Democratic slate of candidates. So hopefully this blue wave hits Knox County. My intention is to knock on every door, make every phone call, and get our Democrats out so we can win in August and win in November.
So what issues are most important to you, closest to your heart?
Jobs, 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 and not just any jobs. We need livable wage jobs. There's nowhere in the county where anyone can get a one-bedroom apartment who makes under $15 an hour. We've got to increase wages. We've got to make sure that businesses are good corporate neighbors. We need businesses to provide those wages, provide health care, provide paid family sick leave, and we also need to take care of our kids' education. That's important. Our teachers need to be paid adequately. The budget needs to be funded so our kids can, I'm proud that 62% of our budget goes toward education. So that tells me that we care about education. We care about our kids and their future. I just want to do the right thing by our residents, by our students. Housing, keeping housing affordable. Our population will grow by 100,000 in, I'd say, under 15 years. And we have to be ready for that. And that means that we have to make sure that the least of these are taken care of. And as our population grows and as our county grows, that they're not left behind. So that's part of the reason why I'm running, to make sure that as things get more expensive and as the county grows, that we're not leaving people, the most vulnerable, we're not leaving them behind. So that's important to me.
Hi, I'm with Linda Haney. She's running for Knox County Mayor. How you doing, Linda?
I'm doing just fine.
Here we are at the Truman Day event and 2018. So How bright does the future look for the Democrats this year?
I think that we have a great chance this year. I think the opponent I have is not anything that most people in this county want. His ideas are pretty extremely right, and as a Democrat, I can compromise with Republicans and independents, and we can work together to move Knox County forward. So all the other candidates, which we have a great slate of candidates, we're just going to work really hard this year, and I think this will be our year.
What do you think are the main issues that need to be worked on should you be elected?
Main issue is education. Budget is 63% for education. We have to make sure that every boy and girl in every zip code in the county has an excellent education, a good education, from the poorest person to the wealthiest person. That will be my main focus.
And Linda, I would really like to ask you, how, as Democrats, can we get out the vote this year?
That's a big thing, and we have to explain to Democrats that if we vote, we can win. And we had only a 20% turnout for the county elections. We have over 200,000 people registered in Knox County. We have to, on August 2nd, we need to blow the doors off of this. We need to get every Democrat out to vote.
Thank you so much for talking to me, Linda.
You have great.
Hi, I'm with Gloria Johnson. She is running for House District 13. How are you doing, Gloria?
I'm doing well.
Here we are at the Truman Day event.
A lot
of energy here tonight. I wanted to ask you, so how is your campaign going?
It's going really well. We have got overwhelming support. We've got a whole lot of interns early, a lot of interest, a lot of people wanting to volunteer and wanting to get involved. So we have seen, we always have a pretty good turnout for help and volunteers and interns, but it's overwhelming at this point. We're like, we almost have to hire another staff person to manage all the interns, but that's a great, situation to have. And so I think the energy this year is just huge.
So once you win, once you're elected, what are the issues that you're going to start working on immediately?
Well, the whole reason that I am running over the last couple of years, I spent time working with families and individuals who are afraid of losing their health care. And I've been working with individuals who don't have access to health care because Tennessee hasn't expanded Medicaid. And if you hear the stories of those families terrified of losing their insurance, or those who don't have access to insurance, I don't know how you can't make sure that Insure Tennessee passes. And if you talk to teachers and you talk to people in the schools, we are still vastly underfunding public education. We've got our eye, some people have their eye more on privatizing public ed than fully funding public education, and we've got to do that as well. The other thing is we are not working on wages, and we've got to raise the wage in Tennessee, and that's something that the supermajority will not address. And we are one of the highest states with a high percentage, the highest percentage of minimum wage employees, and that more than 60% of those are women. So we're not going to be able to take our state forward and progress without making sure that families have enough food on the table and can pay their bills.
Well said, Gloria, and we really appreciate that. Tell us how we can support you.
Well, people can support by coming out and volunteer. Our campaign is about grassroots. It's about knocking doors and making phone calls. We like personal voter contact because that's how you tell people what you're about and let them know what your campaign's about. So the more personal contact we can have, the better. So we love volunteers, and we also love donations because money is the mother's milk of politics. And as much as I feel there's a problem with money in politics, you do have to have money to run that campaign. And so that's part of it, but also vote. Get out and vote. I feel like people say this every election, it's never been more important, but come on, y'all. It's never been more important. So don't only go vote with your family, 5-10 friends to also go vote with you, and just get out.
Just so they're Democrat.
Right, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Gloria. We appreciate that so much. Thank you. Hi, I'm with Greg McKay, and he is running for House District 18.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. You?
I'm doing great. So here we are at the Truman Day event 2018.
Yeah.
What prompted you to run this year?
Well, I saw Governor Bredesen come to town in January, and he said that what we need to start concentrating on is getting just a few things right. and stop worrying about the divisive issues, the wedge issue of the week. There are important issues that affect people's day-to-day lives here in Tennessee, like health care. There's so many people, I know so many people that cannot afford to have health care, and we need to do something about that. There's 25,000 veterans in the state of Tennessee that don't have health care. But we can do better than that. We need to constantly be working to improve our educational system, and we need better paying jobs with real benefits here in Tennessee. Of course, education is tied into that. That's the long-term solution to the jobs issue, is education. So we need to take care of our kids. The focus of state government should be children.
So tell me how you think the Democrats can pull it off, how we can actually start winning back some of our seats, some of our positions in office.
Sure. Like I was saying earlier, we have to talk about issues that affect people's daily lives and stop getting off on all these wedge issues that divide our country. We have to be careful not to divide our country and try to come together on the things we agree in, which to me is, we've got to do something about insurance for people and our children. The focus should be on our children, which is education and making sure that when they get out of school, they've got a decent job with real benefits. And I think if we can concentrate on the day-to-day things like that, then we can win the election.
So tell us, how can we support you, Greg, in your campaign?
Well, there's a number of things you can do. You can always come and join us. We're going to be knocking on doors this summer. We're going to be phone banking this summer. You can always donate money. And another thing that you can do that's very effective is just tell your friends. Go out and find a voter and then let us know who they are, and we'll make sure to help you get out the vote. And just talking to people at the store and at church and at work is what really is going to win this election.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me. Good luck.
All right, good to see you again.
Hi, I'm with Joshua Williams. He's running for the 2nd Congressional District. How you doing tonight, Joshua?
I'm doing great. This is a wonderful party.
I'm so glad to see you again. We've met on other occasions.
I've been running for over a year now, so yep, this is our second go-around.
How's it going for you?
It's going great. I can't tell you how many wonderful people I've encountered. We've had wonderful events. We've been raising money, buying yard signs. We're full tilt boogie. That's what we're doing now.
So I'm interested in talking to you about what the issues are that you care about. What would you begin to work on if you took office?
Well, I am the only health care provider running for the 2nd Congressional District. I'm a clinical psychologist. And the number one thing I hear about everywhere I travel in the district, and frankly out of the district, is health care. People are sick and tired of dealing with insurance companies and all the hassles, and we need affordable, accessible, high-quality health care. We're the last industrialized country on planet Earth to work on that, and we're the richest. It doesn't make sense. So health care is priority number one. Campaign finance reform is very important to me. Of course, we're working on jobs for this area, high-quality jobs, raising the minimum wage, economic development, environment. Opiates, again, as a healthcare provider, I deal with it on a daily basis in the hospitals, and we have got to do something right away and long term to prepare to help people through their lives who have been addicted to these horrible drugs.
How do you think the Democrats are going to be able to pull off winning some elections in 2018?
It's interesting. A lot of the margins have eroded since Donald Trump was elected president. And in fact, there's been a fundraiser for my campaign. It was Republicans for Williams. We've never heard of that before. I kept looking in the mirror thinking, can this possibly be happening? But what we're seeing is a shift in the demographics in the west part of the county. A lot of retirees moving into Loudoun County especially, and West Knoxville, who are leaning blue. We also see a lot of moderate Republicans. The guy who did the fundraiser said, he called me, he said, my party has left me. I don't have a home in the Republican Party anymore. So we have a big tent and we will welcome them. And I think that the numbers have also been deceiving in this area because we've had no real candidates for such a long time that a lot of folks like myself have been voting in Republican primaries. Someone said, yes, we vote for the evil of two lessers. Just to try to help our community, we vote for people that seem to have less baggage. But so there are a lot of Democrats who've been voting Republican for a long time, and now we have a professional running for office who's lived here for 40 years, raised 3 kids here with my wife, who's also a psychologist. We've got deep roots here. This is my home. I love it, and I want to make it even better.
Thank you so much for talking to me. Good luck to you, Josh.
My pleasure. Hope to see you next year as Congressman Williams.
Thank you. Hi, I'm with former Mayor Randy Tyree. How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you. It's an exciting night. A lot of adrenaline going on here.
That's right. Truman Day event 2018. Here we are again. So, how are we going to win in 2018? How are the Democrats going to win?
I'm of the opinion that, and this is just a perception I've got, with all politics being local, that the intensity of the energy at the local level, as we're viewing here tonight with the amount of people attending, that the energy is what makes the world go around. And that's, if you've got that, you always have a chance at winning, regardless of other downsides, like if you don't have adequate money and things of that nature. But as long as you got the fire in the belly, you can win, and that's where we are this cycle of things.
How do you think that we can pull this off this year to get some Democrats back in office?
Well, there's a cycle of things that we go through, and I'm of the opinion that as a result of Tennessee being such a red state for so long, that there's so many problems, not to be critical of anybody, but there's only so much energy and only so much effort you can put into things, and I'm seeing signs, like, for example, yesterday, the first time ever, I believe, in this Governor Haslam's administration, he vetoed a bill. And that brings a different complexion in that it shows a division that's it's not always bad to have controversy, as long as you don't become so polarized that you can't talk.
Thank you so much, and I hope you have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm with Inbar Saunders, and you are Knoxville's City Vice Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing tonight?
Just great.
Here we are. It is a beautiful night. Here we are at the Truman Day event.
It is nice, yes. Great crowd.
Very great crowd.
When we got a parking problem, that's a good problem.
That is a really good problem, especially for Democrats.
That's right.
So, speaking of Democrats, how do you see the Democrats winning this year in 2018?
Well, there's a lot more interest in all political races this year than there has been in years past, and that's a good thing. So people are getting energized. They're also getting informed, which is what you really want. And I think we see that in the Democratic Party, of course, but you see it generally in our population, which is a good thing, especially women. And that's good, especially if you see City Council with now 4 women out of 9.
This year.
So that's a wonderful occurrence, and it's historic also.
So you've been on City Council for quite a while.
Well, 6.5 years, yeah. So I've got about a year and a half left. I served the same term as Mayor Rehero.
So what issues do you see that we might be able to win on, and what do you consider to be the most important issues that are out there right now for us?
There's so many issues, but from my perspective, it's really good governance and working together, and that means compromise. That's the way things work. So we're not always going to agree, even on City Council, but we need to find solutions for the citizens. And sometimes in various bodies that doesn't happen. So that is my single most important thing, is making sure we do good governance, not just the City Council, but it's more important than ever that we do that. But our county commission, our state legislature, our delegation in Washington, that they come with solutions for the citizens of this country, not just for a party. So that would go for both parties.
Well, how do you see the Democrats winning going forward? What can we do to get out the vote this year?
Yeah, here locally, I think we have a real challenge. Not an insurmountable challenge, but a challenge. But we have, in my opinion, some of the best candidates I have known in recent years, and that's to our benefit. So I think we have, in many races, a very reasonable chance to dominate, and I hope we do. But I hope we don't go over the top. I just hope we can find a good balance, and that's something that so far many parties don't.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate that.
Delaney.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
I'm with Andrew Roberto, and he has just won City Council District 2 not too long ago, right?
Yeah, we were sworn in December 16th.
Excellent. So 6 months in, what are you thinking about the office?
It's everything I thought it would be. It's really exciting. There's a lot of energy in Knoxville. You can really see where some plans that have been made are really coming. Where you got some seeds that are starting to grow, and you're starting to see some real progress. I'm really excited about the team I get to work with. We've got 4 really amazing progressive women that are on council now, so I'm really excited about the great opportunity to work with them. It's just really an exciting time in Knoxville.
So what issues are you guys working on right now that you really that are close to your heart?
Well, I think one of the big ones right now is Recode, where we're looking at redoing the zoning ordinance for all of Knoxville, and we're just at the beginning stage of that. More pressing right now is the budget, so we're looking at budget issues, and we're going to start getting more into that here in the next few weeks.
How tedious do you think this coding situation is going to be for City Council?
I think Recode is very complicated, and I've already had one, and I'm planning on a few more community meetings to talk about it with the neighborhoods and make sure everyone understands what's going on. And that's just important. You want to make sure we've got some, a lot of transparency, a lot of opportunities for public comment, because this is something that has not been changed since the 1960s. And you can imagine how much zoning and life and building and everything has changed since the 1960s. So it's an important thing for us to do, but it's an important thing for us to do right.
So you're glad you took office. You're excited about the future for the Democrats too?
Very excited. I mean, I've been to Truman Day for I don't know how many years now. It's been more than a decade, and this is the most well-attended I've seen. Great slate of candidates. Really excited about all the energy out there, and wish everyone good luck.
Right, thanks. Well, we wish you good luck, and you're newly married, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks so much. Enjoy your evening.
You too.
Hi, I'm with Marshall Stair, City Councilman, right?
That's right.
District.
It's at large, so the whole city.
You're in the at large.
Yes, there's 3 at-large seats. So.
All right. So yeah, you were saying we were just talking. The energy in the room tonight is amazing, right?
Yes, it's. I think there's a great turnout. A lot of the candidates are here, and if you think about it, I think we've got competitive races statewide for the first time since 2006 with Corker and Harold Ford Jr. So, I think people are excited about the options, and just a lot of electricity in the air tonight.
So tell me, do you have any ideas about how the Democrats can pull in more votes this year?
Well, I think what's going on nationally is really motivating the base. And then I think the candidates in Tennessee really appeal to a really broad range of voters. So I think that combination gives them a really good chance to win. I mean, candidates like Craig Fitzhugh and Carl Dean and Phil Bredesen really appeal to a lot of people. And the base is going to turn out because of what's going on in Washington. So I think they've got a good chance.
So Andrew was just talking about how you guys are doing the recoding. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's our code is old. It's from the 1960s, and it's really about trying to create a blueprint for the next 60 years. So what do we want our city to look like, and try to incorporate transit and other modes of transportation, and just how we develop the city going forward. So I think it's a good thing. It's something I've been supportive of and looking forward to continue to work on. It may take another year, but these processes are slow, but I think we'll get to the finish line.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with me.
All right. Thanks for doing it. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We are delighted to be joined by Councilwoman Seema Singh Perez, who ran an awesome campaign last year and worked very, very hard to win your election. So tell us, Seema, what do you think Democrats need to do to be successful and win races in 2018?
I think we need to represent everybody. I think right now a lot of minorities are taken for granted by Democrats, and that needs to stop. I mean, if you look right here, what's surrounding us, whereas we're Democrats also.
Exactly.
So I think that's a big part of it, is being more inclusive and genuinely, not just lip service.
And what are some great ways you would say to reach out to underserved communities and communities that we aren't currently reaching?
Knock on every door. It doesn't matter if they're registered to vote or not.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, and we really appreciate your service to our community.
Thank you,
Thanks,
LaKenya.
Seema. We have Colleen Martinez joining us, who is running for Tennessee House of Representatives, District 89.
89, that's right.
Awesome. Colleen, thank you so much for stepping up to run. We've heard a lot about the blue wave that's coming, but I would love to hear from you what you think it's going to take for Democrats to win in 2018.
Okay. I believe the way that Democrats will win in 2018 is that we need to reach out to our independent and moderate voters, and we also need to make sure that we are getting our base excited. And I think if we can make that combination and make sure that we can express our views and express our issues so that everyone can join with us, then I think we will be able to take over the House, or well, at least take over the House from Knoxville.
And what are some key ways that you think could excite the base? What are some things that we need to do specifically?
You know what? Okay, we really need to communicate more. Okay, we have so many candidates and we have so many events happening in Knoxville, and I talk to my friends in the town and they do not know that someone in their district is running. They do not know that someone in that's having an event. They don't know that that person is having a campaign kickoff. They don't know that that person is having a campaign event. So I think if we are able to communicate more with all the Democrats in Knoxville and get them excited, get them coming to events, get them cheering for their candidates, get them out there canvassing and phone banking, and really show them that if we do this, we can flip Knoxville. We can turn blue. I think that that may be key to turning this thing around.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us, for stepping up and stepping out and deciding to run, and we look forward to getting to know more about you during this campaign process.
Thank you.
Thanks, Colleen.
Thank you.
Hi, we're here with Kaipo Agostini, who is running for Tennessee State House, District 89, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stepping out to run and putting yourself out there. We've heard a lot this past year about the blue wave that's coming, and there's a lot of excitement around Democratic politics again, which is fantastic.
Yes.
But I'd love to hear from you. What do you think it's going to take for Democrats to win, and specifically for you to win in 2018?
I think that we need to actually reach out to the people that have been disenfranchised. There are a lot of people that believe they're disenfranchised, and those are the typical Trump voters. We need to reach out to the people that are actually disenfranchised, the people that have just become citizens that don't know where, what direction to go in. The actual immigrants that are eligible to vote. Our black communities that are, they're noticing, every couple of months the Democrats run up and it's like, let's get your vote, but they're not listening to our voices. So we need to actually listen to the voices of the people that are disenfranchised, and that's a ticket to win.
And how do we engage those folks? How do we bring them to the table? How do we let them know that we see them and we hear them and we want them and we want to serve them?
We go out and talk to them. We have to knock on a lot of doors. And one of the odd things is I've been doing a lot of canvassing, and I've noticed that there are a lot of people are not home because they're working 3 and 4 jobs. So we need to figure out a way to get people out. We can't have district meetings, places where the bus line doesn't run, because these are the people that we're trying to reach out to. They can't jump in their car and they're working 8 to 5 and jump in their car and come down to the meeting. It has to be at a time where they've got the kid. Tiny window between when the kids are done with their homework and before they go to bed, and is on the bus line that they can get there and get back.
Awesome. Well, Kaipo, we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stepping up and stepping out to run, and we are looking forward to getting to know more about you and your campaign and hearing the issues that are important to you as this race develops on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. We are here with Carl Dean, who is running for governor of the state of Tennessee on the Democratic ticket, and so we are very thrilled and excited that you came all the way over to Knoxville to share with us in our Truman Day. So first of all, thank you for coming.
It's good to be
and
here.
Welcome to Knoxville again. I know you've been here several times and will be here several more. But there's a lot of excitement around Democratic politics right now, and a lot of great candidates are running, and we're hearing a lot about the big blue wave that potentially and hopefully is coming. And so I would just love to hear from you what you think it's going to take for Democrats to win in November. and in August.
Yeah, I think Democrats win when people vote. And I think the biggest issue we face is making sure that people get out and vote, participate in this election. Our voter participation was so low in 2016. And so if people are mobilized, like I think they are, they need to be encouraging their fellow citizens to make sure they're registered and make sure they're voting. And if that happens, I think everything's going in our favor, and there'll be a good result.
And what do you see as being the biggest issues that are going to turn voters out in 2018?
Well, I think that, there's a lot of national issues people are concerned about, but I think in the state of Tennessee, I think health care is probably the number one issue that will turn folks out. People are always interested in education and always interested in having good and better jobs. So I think those basic issues about how we just make life better for all Tennesseans are the ones that people will respond to.
Awesome. And specifically with your campaign, how are you looking to connect with voters and really share your message for making Tennessee better?
Well, we use all sorts of forms, whether it's the internet or, I've been to 92 of the 95 counties. I'm traveling constantly. And then, obviously we'll be on TV and other things, getting the message out. But you got to work hard at it to get it done.
Exactly. And if you want to tell our viewers how they can best learn more about your campaign,
go to carldean.com, and that's Carl with a K.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming over today and sharing with us and for putting yourself out there to serve. We know that you've been in service a long time. You did an awesome job as mayor of Nashville, and so we're excited to learn more about you as this campaign develops.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are here with State Representative Craig Fitzhugh, who is a candidate for governor of the state of Tennessee. Representative Fitzhugh, thank you so much for coming over all this way to share with us tonight. It's been an amazing night, and we really appreciate you sharing. We know that you have been to Knoxville plenty of times, and we'll be back plenty more during the course of this campaign. But tonight was just so special, and we really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
As you can see, there's a lot of energy.
Oh, my goodness, there is. It was a full house and everything. It's wonderful.
As you're traveling the state, I'm sure you're seeing a lot of energy, and even nationally.
I am, yes.
There's a lot of talk about the big blue wave.
Right.
But I would love to hear from you what you think it's going to take for Democrats to pull off wins in 2018.
Well, first of all, we've got to get Democrats registered to vote, and it's easy to do now. It's there's an app in Tennessee that you can go online and register to vote, and we need to do that, and then get folks out to the polls, because if our folks vote, we will win. And they know the issues. The big issues are health care, education, and quality of life, broadband in rural areas, the opioid crisis, infrastructure, good jobs with a living wage. So we know what the issues are, and if we vote them, we can have a tremendous effort to make those things happen.
And how do we as Democrats get those messages out? Because I believe that we do have the best message, that we do have the best viewpoint and outlook for the state of Tennessee. How do we connect that message to our voters?
Well, it's a one-on-one type situation, and there are a lot of issues we may not be able to agree on. Right. So let's don't worry about those so much. Let's worry about the issues that if we do better with health care, with education, with jobs, that everybody will do better. We all do better when we all do better. So let's concentrate on those issues, and then we'll have wins, and we will improve the quality of life for everybody in Tennessee.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You're
How
welcome.
can people find out more about you and learn more
The
about
easiest
your
way,
campaign?
CraigFitzhugh.com. CraigFitzhugh.com. I've got a little video that's sort of got a high school football theme. It sort of tells who I am. So if you can't sleep tonight, just put that 2.5-minute video on, and it'll help you tell who I am.
Excellent. Well, Representative Fitzhugh, thank you again so much for coming. Thank you for all of your years of service to the state of Tennessee, and we look forward to hearing more about you and learning more about your issues and following you as this campaign goes on.
Well, it's wonderful to be here, and thank you very much for letting me do this.
Excellent. Thank you.